wanted to do a video basically on this. Divesters did a video on this a while back. I forget which one, but I meant to do it. And something I was watching kind of reminded me of it. But they were saying, some people on our panel were saying how swirlers, yeah, and I even left a comment there actually now that I think of it. But they were saying swirlers are not the same as divesters, and swirlers need to understand that they're not the same and stop trying to categorize themselves with divesters. This is the thing. I feel like a lot of the people have different perspectives on this because they have a close history to being mammies. I'm not saying that the divested women are mammies. What I'm saying is people who associate swirlers with something that I keep seeing them associate them with, to me, implies they might have a mammy background. Now, I'm not saying everyone does that's divested. I'm saying those people that have that assertion or idea. Okay, so people who think that swirlers are basically people who are... Because I asked, what is a swirler, right? Because it's supposed to be someone who interracially dates. That's what a swirler is supposed to be. Swirler is supposed to be someone who only interracially dates. If they aren't one who only interracially dates, you have to basically use the distinction of a rainbow swirler. Rainbow swirlers date the whole rainbow. Excuse me. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, Aborigine, Native American, and so forth. Mixed race, yeah. But a swirler is not the same thing. So a swirler is someone who interracially dates only. Now, some people acted like swirlers were people who will date black men. And I think the reason people think this is because a very common idea, and I agree with this, is that swirlers date donuts. We date white powdered donuts, right? And divested black women do not. They are part of leveling up in their type of men that they date. And they do not date within their race, they date outside of their race. So it's basically a leveled up version of the swirler. But these people don't recognize that you could be a swirler who only dates people outside of your race that are low class. Because I think this has to do with the mammy complex. See, people who are past mammies and then divested, they are the people who will be divested, but their past when they dated low class people was basically people who were black. So the reason they don't date black men is because they feel like they want to date a better man, basically, and they see that as white men. That's their choice. Maybe white men are better for them, personally, that's their decision to make. But it's like, you have to understand, not everyone, if someone doesn't have standards on class and type of men, and maybe they do date lowly men, that doesn't mean they're going to specifically date black men. And the only reason people would think that is because the only reason you're not dating black men is because of class, though you are attracted to them. Physically, I'm saying. Because that's why you're saying that if you didn't have that barrier and that idea of class and being a better man as the prerequisite to dealing with that man, then you would date black men. So you basically superimpose your past mammy behaviors onto swirlers, which is what's annoying to me. Because it's like, you could be a swirler who literally, maybe you were in your early 20s, maybe you didn't have that big of a job, maybe you lived in a lesser neighborhood, and, the only people around you were lower class men, and they happened to be of another race, and, maybe your preference, your sexual attraction is only to white men. That's not going to make you a mammy. That's not going to make you open to dating black men. This doesn't mean that being a swirler is something that you should be, even. But it's just the weird ideas people have of swirlers being people who date black men without even saying they're rainbow swirlers, saying they're just swirlers. Swirlers don't date black men. Swirlers date bad white men. That's what swirlers do. They don't vet white men properly. And, I understand being a swirler is not the same as a divester. I understand that. I'm well aware of that. But there's one thing. Just like a mammy who has nothing in common with a divester, because, these people with the past of being a mammy were the same people who were in a relationship with a black man. And now you are divested and with better white men. Why would you think a swirler could never be a divester if you as a mammy became a divester? Obviously, you can be a swirler and actually want more and aim for more and do better. So to me, that's what I don't like about what that person on the platform said, was specifically saying that, you can't, put swirlers and divestors as the same thing. Swirlers are not like Cynthia G. Cynthia G is a plain mammy. She only sucks black dick, okay? She's not into white men at all. Fence sitters who might every now and then date a white man are not swirlers because they're not interracially dating only white men. They are involved with black men because that's what they're attracted to. A swirler has no attraction to black men. A swirler has only attraction to white men. Now, all a swirler really needs is a brain and self-control, things of that nature, better decision making. But, we don't really actually need to, anything of that nature with black men because we're not attracted to them. But we still have to deal with that with white men, So, that's my perspective. I think, people don't pay attention to the fact that, as swirlers might not be in the best boat as divestors. We might not be completely leveled up like divestors, but we are not mammies. And confusing swirlers with mammies is insane. It's annoying. It's like, I think the main reason is because people have mammy pasts, So they think that that's what a swirler is. And it's like, no, you were a mammy. Thank God you're not anymore. You're divested. But you were a mammy. And a swirler, we can have similar situations happen to us with white men, and that's the main reason why, we need to level up and try to be more divested. But trying to act like swirlers are the same thing as mammies is annoying to me, because it's like, you know, honestly, someone who's swirler has a much closer connection to someone who's divested than someone who's a mammy. It's just what it is. I mean, we have half the situation. We have half of not even being interested in the same men that cause you problems. That's not our problem, basically. So, you know, that's all I really wanted to say there. I think that yes, there is a difference between divestors and swirlers. But, you know, personally for me, I see myself as more in the swirler sector, honestly, than divested. Um, I've always known that. But a major thing for me when I look at my dating practices and things of that nature is I am not one who's just like, I'm happy to just date men that are of a lower class or of a lower um, sector. I would still be like, I prefer to level up. So to me, as I get older, I am like more maturing and therefore more divesting rather than, wanting to, stay at the same play level that I've been at in my 20s. I've not seriously dated in my 20s, basically. But my point is, I do think there's a difference between swirlers and divestors, but I also think there's a big difference between basically people who are, mammies and swirlers, and people confuse them so often. Honestly, rainbow swirlers are different from mammies too. Um, but sometimes some rainbow swirlers can have some of the same problems as mammies, but swirlers are nothing like mammies. In fact, mammies give more hell to swirlers because we're around mammies more often than divestors are. So anyway, that's all I have to say in this video. Thanks for watching and bye.